You tracked it.
If we could just keep these phones away, can you keep these phones a little bit away from the mic? We have a bit of an experience. Sorry, guys. Hi everyone, hope everyone's well. We'll kick off with the live section, then go into 10:30 tonight. All ready at the back? All good. We'll kick off with James from Sky.
Good afternoon, Mikel.
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Huge breaking news this morning with Erling Haaland committing to a new 9.5-year contract at Manchester City. Good news for them, not so good news for the rest of the Premier League.
Well, that's their news. If they are willing to commit with a player for that long, it's because they are really happy, so good news for them.
From a fitness point of view this weekend, Ricardo Calafiori, is he close to being in contention to feature tomorrow?
Yes, I had a few decisions to make this afternoon with the medical staff to understand whether they are in the best condition to this game or the next one, so we'll decide that.
You're dealing with a number of long-term issues. Are all those players on track when it comes to their rehabilitation? Anybody close to making a return?
No, so far, no.
It was such a significant win for you on Wednesday against Tottenham. What impact are you hoping, and what impact have you seen already on the squad and the club itself?
Yeah, I love the attitude that the team played with. We had some big performances. It was obviously a beautiful night for us to celebrate in front of our people. Moving to the next one because a big one again against Villa.
And in terms of Aston Villa, defeat at home to them last season proved really costly in terms of your title hopes. That's the last league match you actually lost at home against Aston Villa back in April. Do you feel like you need to be almost perfect between now and the end of the season to win the title this year?
We're going to try to be as good as we possibly can tomorrow night. That's the objective. They are a really good side. That's why they beat us last season. And we proved as well when we played them at Villa Park that they are a really difficult opponent. So we'll prepare in the best way to win.
And you admitted on Wednesday that you're actively looking to try to sign a forward in this transfer window. Do you think that you can still challenge for the title this year without any reinforcements?
At the moment, we don't have them. We are trying, as I said, actively to find the best possible solution. But we will have to wait and see what we can do.
How challenging is it to find the right player? What profile are you looking for in the forward that you want to bring in?
Obviously, it's not something that I'm going to discuss here. Obviously, we have lost two massive players for us in the front line, and we need some support there.
And we understand that Martin Zubimendi could be joining the club in the summer. I won't ask you about that directly, but with contracts running out for the likes of Thomas Partey and Jorginho, is midfield an area you're looking to strengthen in?
Oh, we have certain situation, contracts expiring, we can renew like we have done in the past those contracts. So again, we are actively always evolving the squad and understanding what the players want to do when they finish our contracts together, and we have to be prepared.
Alice from the Premier League.
Hi.
You called your team sensational in the win over Spurs. I just wonder, how do you go about ensuring that your players retain that level of performance throughout this second half of the season, particularly when you look ahead to fixtures that, say, aren't quite as emotive as the North London derby?
Well, when we play every 3 days, obviously that's the type of performance that we want, and the performance has been there. After it's about the results, and a few things didn't go our way in the first few minutes of the match, especially because the dominance that we showed going 1 down was tough, but mentally I think the team showed incredible resilience, patience, composure to overcome the situation and win the game.
You said this week that your players want more, that they want to be tested and they want to be questioned. Could that suggest that they're actively thriving on the pressure of trying to chase Liverpool down right now?
I think so. I think if you want to be fighting for the top trophies with the top teams for 11 months, like we've been doing the last 2.5 years now, you have to enjoy that kind of moments, that kind of circumstances, those challenges, the pressure that comes with it, because it's the beauty of it. That we are playing to win, and that's exactly what we want to be.
Yeah, you use the word pressure there. We often hear it used in a negative context, particularly in football. But is that something you want your players to be feeling now then?
Well, I think the pressure comes from within. I think nobody can put pressure on you. I think it's the wrong way. And if that's the case, it's because probably you're not doing or preparing the right way. I think you have to strive to be the best as you possibly can. And there is no more pressure, in my opinion, than that when you daily have this commitment with yourself to achieve that.
Okay, Villa up next tomorrow. We all know what happened when they came to the Emirates last season, of course, but you did beat them at Villa Park in August. How wary are you of the threat they pose tomorrow, and how much does that result against them back in April still hurt, I guess?
Well, because we know the difficulty of the team that they are, that's why they're performing so well. They have an excellent coach, very good players, really good organization, and we are so used to in the Premier League. It's not very different every 3 days. So tomorrow we're going to have to be really good again to deserve to win the game.
Finally, from me, a couple of weeks back, you said that you feel Arsenal have been the best team in the league in the last year without winning a major trophy. How realistic do you feel your prospects are of putting that right this time around?
In that case, I refer to the stats. When you look at all the stats that are relevant to do that, that's what the stats said. But the reality is that we weren't, because somebody else won the title. So that's something, there is a margin there that we still need to improve and be better. Thank you.
It's one from Eleanor.
Renee Slegers appointed this morning
Yeah.
on a permanent basis. She's had a fantastic run during her time in interim charge. I just wanted to get your reaction to her permanent appointment and ask how much you're looking forward to working on.
Very happy, obviously, and she's done a phenomenal job since she joined the role, and very happy for her. Very happy for the club as well, because promoting someone that was already with us, I think, is a very strong signal and a very good decision, I must say. So very happy for her.
Okay, we'll go to Alex from the BBC.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
The win over Tottenham was a relief and a good result after a tricky week for you after 2 defeats at home. What's the reaction been like at the training ground from the players and the staff? Have you noticed the difference?
It's very good. Really happy in the dressing room. Really happy the next day, and then start with Villa. That's it. I mean, the enjoyment or the bad mood that we can be when you don't win, it has to disappear immediately, because the focus has to be in the next match and how we prepare in the best possible way.
You've spoken before about the good runs you've been on, how momentum is so important to keep up the good results back to back. So how important is it to not let that fall and take the chance to build a good run with the game against Villa?
Yeah, well, we didn't be in the position that we are in because we've been very stable. When you look at the run in the Premier League in the last 11, 13 matches, I think speaks for himself, not only the result but the performances, but he's doing it again and again and again, every 3 days, different competitions, and that's what we want to achieve.
Ian, TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel, how are you?
Good, thank you.
This week was the first time in a while that Liverpool slipped up and you actually won to gain points on them. Do you feel this has been a massive week in the title race?
Well, it's always important when you are able to win and capitalize on other teams dropping points. It's always a great week. First of all, because you win, and secondly, because obviously for the rest, it's not been what they wanted. We need many more of those at the moment because of where we are, and we need to stay very, very, very focused to understand that if we do what we have to do, it will be a chance in some moment.
Erling Haaland today at Man City, 9.5 years. I think Cole Palmer signed a similar deal at Chelsea earlier in the season. Is that the way we're going forward now with football clubs signing players for almost the entirety of their careers?
I don't know. It looks like obviously there's been a few examples of that. I don't know. I don't know if every club is going to take that route. The reasons for it, I think it will be very particular cases. Maybe we start with managers as well, doing 10-year contracts, and then with the physios and the journalism. And I don't know. So
Would you like a 10-year contract?
at the moment, I have enough. I'm very happy with what I have.
One thing you have got is a set-piece coach who is clearly quite good at his job, because you've scored a lot of goals this season through set pieces. And I just wonder if you can give us a little bit of an insight into how much work, how the ideas must come through either just your set-piece coach or all of your coaching staff. Because you must have to update them game by game. You can't use the same ones every game, otherwise people know what they are. And they are, in football where everything is such a fine line, this is now becoming a really vital tool, isn't it?
Well, yes, we considered a goal from a set piece the other day, and we could have considered another one. No, but it's not a positive, it's a balance. If you score and you concede, at the end, the balance is zero. So that's how it is. And yeah, we have Nico, obviously, is responsible for that and many other things that he does. It's just a small part of his job that he does really well, and the players follow it. And we have some good momentum. And now it's about maintaining it, the attacking and the defensive part, because it's so related.
But does he just come up with the ideas, or do you go to him and say, I've got an idea, and maybe...
Everything that we do is shared, and it's not an idea that comes on today. It's some work that we started many years ago, and it's constant development. Because what we're doing now, I'm sure that in 3 months, in 6 months, 9 months, it's not going to work. So you constantly have to evolve it.
Tom, Football London.
Hi.
You've had the likes of Ben White and Mikel Arteta out for significant periods. What type of challenges do you set players when they're not on the field, and what they have to do kind of off it to improve themselves?
Well, first of all, obviously, the main part is the psychological part, so how they feel emotionally, because being a long time without doing what you love is not easy. Your routines change completely. You are much more isolated because you're not going to work, and that takes a little while to handle and to settle. So first of all, give that support to the players, then the physical condition that they can maintain or improve in relation to the injury that they have, really important. And then use that time as well for other things, because, for example, Bukayo hasn't had any time off in the last 2 seasons. So it's a moment that if he can have a break as well and enjoy other parts of his life, great. To be closer to the family, great. To learn about the game, certain aspect that he can still improve and develop. We are doing that. So that's what we try.
Replacing Ben has been Julian while he's been out, but he's come back from a big injury and played a lot of football. What's it been like to manage his minutes while still dealing with the ramifications of such a long injury?
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he's done, especially because he's done it on the right. He's done it as a left fullback as well, and we put in huge demands. That's the thing, that obviously when the squad is short and on top of that you have injuries, quite a lot of injuries like we had, you start to load more players, which is not ideal, obviously.
Athletic.
Hi, Mikel. Just on Myles, I know a lot of people probably just see him as a left back or a midfielder turned left back, but he's been doing that for a couple of years now. I was wondering, were you maybe involved in the decision to start that kind of evolution of him? Because it was something I think he's been doing since 2-3 years ago.
Less than that, I think, but less than that. Yeah, when I saw him, and to give him a chance, and with the product that we had in the academy, the moment that I saw him, the only way that I could think is change his position. I think you want to have a chance here. I spoke to him and I said, this is where you're going to have, because I think it fits a lot his qualities, it fits the way that we play, and it fits because we had necessities in the position. So we started to work on that. He put it into it straight away with the personality that he has, that I think is very obvious, and now he's doing it.
I remember in the pre-season game against Leverkusen, you had a chat with him on the pitch about, I think you said it was kind of defensive duties in that game. I was just wondering, since that conversation, how do you kind of assess him since then?
Well, adapting to the role is not just on the defensive part. I think physically, very different demands. You're facing wingers a lot of times in that position. You have to be part of the defensive line. You have to know when to release, when to not, when the ball is on your side, how you have to defend the box, something that he wasn't used to do that. And then all the attacking process on top of that. So it's quite a lot. He's dealing with that in a great way. Physically as well, he's matured a lot in the last year or so. And they had a great performance, without a doubt.
Simon Standard.
Mikel, when we spoke to you at the start of the window, you sort of described it as you wanted to add to the squad. But given the numbers you've got in that forward line, Kieran was playing left wing the other night, is it changed to a need to add to the squad now?
The word, you mean? Well, obviously we have more necessity now because of what happened in the last few weeks. That's obvious.
And just how difficult is it to operate in the market when everyone knows that you want a forward?
Well, I think it's more a question for Jason. I don't know, but I think we have to do what we think is right, and we can do as well, and that's it. It's clear that we would like to improve the squad, especially with what happened. Can we do it or not? Depend on a lot of factors.
Okay, last couple in the live section. Firstly, Phil from PA.
Just going back to Myles, obviously he's been so impressive since he's been in the side. Do you think there's a chance that he could be on the radar of the new England manager?
Let him settle where he is first and talk about the reality he's got in front of him and deal with that. And I think that's more than enough for now.
And just in terms of the title race, obviously everyone's talking about you and Liverpool. Do you think that it's just a two-horse race now, just between you guys?
I don't think so. I think when you look at every game in the Premier League and the margins and how teams are winning football matches, it can go either way. So in 2 or 3 weeks, you can be talking about something very different. We're still in January and it's going to be a long, long run.
And to Latham Star.
Just a quick one on the atmosphere. The atmosphere against Spurs was excellent.
Brilliant.
How important are the fans?
I loved it. I said it the day before. That's in our hands. So we can look and feel sorry of this happened, this injury, of this, or the referee, blah, blah. Yeah. But what is in our hands, let's make sure that we do it. And I saw a different bite to our crowd, a different body language. We were on top of every ball. We created atmosphere with or without the ball. And we had real purpose with when we were screaming and we were going into every ball in a very different way.